Hello Virgo, my name is Keith Haswell and I'm a professional astrologer. I won't bother spending a lot of time introducing myself because you've probably watched one of my videos already. There's been 1/3 viewings of my videos collectively, 150 odd YouTube videos that I've got up there now. So you've probably seen one of them. And what I want to do for you here, Virgo, is to help you to understand the sort of cycles that you're going to be experiencing in May and June 2015. Now look, all of us, Virgo, are spiritual beings. You are primarily, Virgo, a spiritual being. You are not a human being in search of your spirituality. You are a spiritual being expressing yourself through the human level of consciousness. And you have got an opportunity to be able to reach and stretch and grow, and you do so through the tests that you set for yourself in each life that you come into. And you've set yourself certain tests during May and June 2015, which are in the nature of stresses and tensions and hurdles that by the overcoming of those hurdles you grow and reach and stretch to become more of who you really are, and you develop qualities within yourself, Virgo, okay? What I'm going to do is to tell you what's going on with regard to these stresses and tensions and hurdles that you've set for yourself by the movement of Mars and Saturn. And then I'm going to look at the joy in your horoscope during May and June, Virgo. The joy comes from the movements of the Sun, Venus and Jupiter through the houses of your horoscope during May and June, and that will help you to understand your opportunities and the wonder and the joy that comes through these particular bodies, okay? So just sit back and relax, enjoy the journey here with me. Let's first of all look at where the planets are that are causing your hurdles and stresses and tensions and so forth to begin with. On the 1st of May, Mars is in the 9th house of your horoscope. With Mars in the 9th house of your horoscope, at this particular time, from the 1st of May onwards until I tell you that it changes, Mars in the 9th house brings stresses and tensions for you whilst travelling. It's not a good time for travelling overseas. It brings stresses and tensions for you to do with religious differences with people, and also to do with in-laws. You'll have stresses and tensions there focusing through in-laws and differences of opinion generally about spiritual matters, okay? So just try and relax a lot more. Don't get yourself all worked up and aggressive and argumentative and assertive with in-laws and those who have differences of opinion with you on spiritual matters. And on the 12th of May, Mars moves into the 10th house of your horoscope, introducing a lot of extra energy, Virgo, into your ambitions and your career, business and things like that, and dealings with parents. Now, with Mars in the 10th house of your horoscope, you're going to be rather impulsive in business. There can be stresses and tensions for you connected with business, stresses and tensions in dealing with parents, and stresses and tensions in dealing with government departments, okay? So try not to be impulsive with any decisions that you're making to do with business or career. Just think about it twice, and don't be dominant and assertive with people that you're connected with in business and your career, and you should get through this period with the minimum of difficulty, okay? Now then, the next movement of Mars is on the 25th of June. On the 25th of June, Mars moves into the 11th house of your horoscope, and that's when you're likely to have stresses and tensions over the next 2 or 3 weeks, focusing through friends, group activities, club activities, and other people's children. So friends can be rather dominant and assertive in their nature, and you can have stresses and tensions focusing through group activities. So just try and calm things down and don't allow stresses and tensions to build up to the point where you're having arguments with people whilst out on group social functions and things like that. Now, looking at the movement of Saturn for you, Virgo, Saturn is in the 4th house of your horoscope. It's been there for some time, But during this 2-month period, Saturn is sitting in the 4th house of your horoscope. It's in a retrograde motion as well. So that's a double whammy. Saturn in the 4th house of your horoscope is bad enough to do with family matters, property matters, parents, dealings with home and domestic matters generally, bring frustrations for you. So there can be a sense of difficulty with family matters, property matters, and dealings with parents. There can be illness involving a family member, illness involving a parent, and frustrations and difficulties in dealing with them. And the fact that Saturn is retrograde is a double whammy there as far as that's concerned. Now let's look at the joy for you, Virgo, from the movements of the Sun and Venus and Jupiter in this 2-month period of May and June 2015. Now we start off with the 1st of May. The Sun is in the 9th house of your horoscope. With the Sun in the 9th house of your horoscope, there's a focus upon expansion. There's a focus upon travel potentially, adult education, philosophy and spiritual expansion and growth is the order of the day. A lot more social activities with should they play a prominent part in your life. Venus starts off on the 1st of May in the 10th house of your horoscope, which means that business and career is very, very good for you. Business is going well. Career is going well. It's a good time for job interviews and seeking elevation and advancement in your career and in business. It's good for social involvements with parents. Now the first move that we have of these two is on the 8th of May, when Venus moves into the 11th house of your horoscope for 2 or 3 weeks. When Venus is in the 11th house, Virgo, it's a wonderful time for you through friends. Formation of new friendships, other people's children play prominent parts in your life socially, happiness through friends, group activities bring happiness and joy for you, and it's a time for you generally to have a good time there with your friends and a lot more affection and love there with your friends from that period onwards for 2 or 3 weeks, okay? The next movement is on the 22nd of May, when the Sun moves into the 10th house of your horoscope. Now, the Sun in the 10th house of your horoscope, Virgo, is very, very favourable for you socially connected with business and career. It's a time for seeking advancement in your career. You'll be very much more ambitious during this time with the Sun in the 10th house of your horoscope for 30 days. And it's a good time for you socially through parents, okay? Now then, the next movement is on the 6th of June, Virgo. Venus moves into the 12th house of your horoscope for 2 or 3 weeks. With Venus in the 12th house of your horoscope, there's a great deal of love for solitude, and a lot of benefit comes to you through solitude and introspection and reflection, sidling up to the divine during this time, and the spiritual side of your life is very, very favoured, and it's a very good time for you to be able to trust in friends as well. Okay, now then we look at the next movement, which is the last one, is 22nd of June. The Sun moves into the 11th house of your horoscope. With the Sun in the 11th house of your horoscope for 30 days, Virgo, it's a time of a lot more social activities with friends, group activities, club activities, other people's children playing more prominent part in your life socially if they're involved, and it's a good time for you generally with a sunny disposition there and happiness and joy coming through friends and group activities, okay? Then we look at the movements of Jupiter for you, Virgo. Jupiter is a major beneficial influence in our horoscope wherever it sits. It takes 12 months to transit through a particular house of our horoscope, but just focusing on what it's doing during this 2-month period of May and June 2015, Jupiter is in the 12th house of your horoscope currently. Now, with Jupiter in the 12th house of your horoscope during this 2-month period, it's a wonderful time for you to gain spiritually through introspection and reflection. It's a time of transformation and change within yourself through the benefits of solitude and aspiration toward the divine. So it's a very good time for you to grow and reach and stretch through that introspective side of your nature. Now, Jupiter is very fast moving during this 2-month period. It moves from 13 degrees Leo to 21 degrees Leo. And if you've got any planets in that region between 13 degrees and 21 degrees Leo, then it means that Jupiter forms a conjunction with them. And if you want to know more about what that means and the benefits that that brings, you can have your horoscope number 2 or 3 done by me, and I'm happy to elucidate on that for you in that particular horoscope for you, okay? Now, you have got a wonderful opportunity now, Virgo, to be able to take a gigantic step forward in the expansion of your consciousness by going to my website, and the website address is always in the description of each of my videos. Go to my website and go to the YouTube video page of my website, and there you'll find one of my latest releases only 2 weeks ago called The Meaning of Your Dreams. Now, this particular video happens to be the most liked video of all of the 150 videos that I've ever produced. Why is it more people tick the like box on that one than any of my other videos? The Meaning of Your Dreams. It's a very powerful video. Now, don't expect that there's going to be tens of thousands of people viewing it, Virgo, because it's only for those who are on the crest of the wave of evolution like yourself, who are attracted towards that type of video, which is such an advanced video. It will inspire you to reach and stretch and become more of who you really are by understanding the meaning of your dreams. So it's nice to have this opportunity to be able to talk with you. I look forward to working further with you should you decide to order a horoscope number 2 or 3 from me. And go to my website and see what's going on there at any particular time. You can always find out what sort of specials and things that I've got going there. And it's nice to have this opportunity to be able to help you to become more, Virgo, of that spiritual giant that you truly are. Thank you.